Hello. I think it was yesterday that I was thinking about John 14 and the fact that Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father but by me. And I was thinking about the fact that in Acts of the Apostles, in chapter 9 and chapter 19 and chapter 16, the early Christians, before they were called Christians, were also known as the people of the way. The people who belonged to the way, chapter 9, Acts chapter 9. When Saul goes to Damascus to pursue people, he's got letters to arrest people belonging to the way, both men and women. It was what they were known by. This saying of Jesus when he said, I am the way, the truth and the life. He is the way to the Father. He is the way to live this life. He is the way. And coupled with that, a couple of days ago, I was thinking, wasn't I, about John chapter 10, when Jesus not only talks of himself as the Good Shepherd, but talks of himself as the gate to the sheepfold, the gate, the way in. There is a restricted way in. The only way in is through Jesus. He is the gate or the door of the sheepfold. And it made me think, honestly, my mind, it goes from one place to another, linking all these scriptures together, because the Bible does, it fits together, all the bits of the Bible, they all speak to each other and fit and make a unity that is mind-blowing, actually. But Jesus talked about the gates, didn't he? He talked about, in Matthew 7:13, he said, enter by the narrow gate, for the gate is wide and the way is easy that leads to destruction. And those who enter by it are many, for the gate is narrow and the way is hard that leads to life, and those who find it are few. But I don't know about you, but I want to be among that few who have found the gate. And I want more people to find the narrow gate. The gate that's hard to go through. Thinking about the darkness in our world. Our world is so dark. And it's hard to see which is the right way ahead of us. And sometimes we judge whether we're doing God's will or not, as to whether the path we're following is easy or difficult. We can think, and sometimes it is true, that if we're doing something for the Lord and trouble comes, it comes from the enemy, because the enemy doesn't bother to attack people who aren't causing him any problems, but he will attack those people who are making a difference for the kingdom. So sometimes the way that we're following is hard. And it's hard. It's hard for many Christians around the world. As soon as they make a decision for Jesus, their villages or their community or their family, even their husband or wife, reject them, throw them out. They can't get work. It's hard to choose to be a Christian in many countries around the world. And because it's hard, doesn't mean it's wrong. Jesus himself said, in this world you will have trouble, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. And the promise from Psalm 119, I think it's 127, verse 127 anyway. Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. The way that we should go is lit by the word of God, by Jesus. He is the light of the world. His light penetrates the darkness, and the darkness flees away from him. And many people who live in darkness can't bear the penetration of his light, because his light shows up what their lives are like and what their circumstances are like, what their thinking is like, shows up their sin. But it's not meant to show it up in a judgmental way at the moment, because Jesus doesn't come to judge, he's come to save. Judgment is to come, and to escape judgment, we must choose the narrow gate and the narrow way, and follow hard after the one who said, I am the way. The one who said to his followers, follow me. His followers were asked to follow him. He is the leader, not us. We follow. And I think it's wise, if we don't know what direction to go in, not to make any move at all until we know from him where we should go. He is the way, the truth and the life. This world doesn't want to hear truth at the moment. Pilate found it very difficult to know what was true and what was not. He said to Jesus, what is truth? It's better to say, who is truth? Truth is Jesus and the Word of God. That's where truth is. Truth is constant. Truth doesn't change. Our emotions, our feelings, our thinkings, our preferences, our selfishness make us twist the truth to our own ends. And so many people do it these days. But if we stick to this narrow way that says Jesus is the only way to the Father, following Jesus is the only thing that matters, and it's worth giving up everything to be able to be on the way, following the way, the one who is the way, and he will lead me home. Enter by the narrow gate, for the gate is wide and the way is easy that leads to destruction, and those who enter by it are many. For the gate is narrow and the way is hard that leads to life, and those who find it are few. My prayer today is that there will be many people today who recognize the way for what it is, recognize the narrow gate, and enter by it and find life. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.